All right, Garrett Johnson here at Bay Hill with Mark Fulcher. Mark, you've been
Hello, Gareth.
caddying, man, you've been caddying many years. 17th Masters coming up
I
here.
believe so. Yeah.
Wow, what does it feel like?
I'm not exactly sure it's 17, but I believe it is. It's always exciting to go back there. It's obviously had fond memories, some bitter moments too, but you always go there with the hope that maybe one day it'd be your week, and we're certainly not giving up this year.
I remember that close call last year. I remember I asked you a month later in Philly. I said, "What was it about the grace that we saw from Justin Rose? Where did that come from?" And you said you thought it must have come from his parents, just seeing the way that how graceful he was in defeat. And looking back on that now, how do you view it?
Yeah, and I think that's absolutely correct. I think Rosie was brought up by his late father and his mother to be very respectful. I think they taught him everything that makes golf so special. And I wasn't one bit surprised how gracious he was. I'd like to see him gracious in victory there one year with a green jacket. Nothing would make me happier, but he was a right gentleman.
For fans at home, golf fans that don't get to Augusta, maybe they get there for the first time this year, what's your advice on what part of the property they should try to get to right off the bat?
Well, in the old days, I'd have said go and see the front nine, because it wasn't so long ago that they only showed the back nine on television and nobody really saw the front nine. But Amen Corner speaks for itself. It's absolutely gorgeous. But my particular favourite is the 16th, the par 3. Especially the practice day when the guys are trying to clip it across the lake, skim it across the lake. It's a great afternoon's entertainment, and it's just one of the most iconic, beautiful holes in the world.
Doesn't it also remind you of your mom? I thought you were telling me earlier,
Yeah,
right?
it does. Me and my mum used to, when I was very much younger, obviously, the only tournament I was allowed to stay up for late was the Masters, and obviously with school. And I remember getting there the very first time I caddied and standing on the 16th green, and I'm not a religious person, but I just looked up in the sky and I thought, just in case, I said, "Mum, we've made it." So it's always been a very important spot for me.
Wow. Just the sentimental connection there.
Absolutely, yes.
Well, and I think fans get to different parts of the course. 12 is iconic, the low part of the course, very famous par 3 Amen Corner. What is the hardest part about caddying that week of the Masters?
The hills. I mean, it's just so incredibly hilly. I don't, I think the first thing that anybody who's been there for the first time says about it is just how undulating it is. The ski slope going down 10, and then you walk down 11, which is a steep. And unfortunately, when you go down, there's only one place you've got to do, and that's come back up. So walking up 18 is a steep climb, but the main thing is the 18th, and you don't have to take one more step. So it's a very tough course to caddy on, and I think that's why it's mentally tough to play as well, because physically you have to be, as a player, in top shape to really see that test out. So I think that's very underrated as far as being able to play Augusta, is having the fitness to be able to do that 4.5 hour round there.
Well, speaking of the test of Augusta, I'd imagine the different players you've caddied for over the years at Augusta, what has the preparation been like? How has that contrasted between those guys?
I think Augusta is like an exam paper. There's one way to play it. It often takes you many years to play it. I think you can see that by there's only ever been one rookie winner. And you learn how to take the exam differently every year, and then you finally come to a conclusion after maybe 10 years that there is only one way to play it, and you abide by that, you're going to do okay. If you don't, Augusta will bite you in the arse.
For somebody like Rosie, I know David Clark, one of his former caddies, had told me that he would call Rosie the robot, because he just wants things a certain way in his preparation. What do you make of his meticulous preparation as he gets ready for Augusta?
It's just, that's Justin. No stone is unturned. He prepares as well as he possibly can, and he looks after his team very well, but in return he expects them to try and match his effort and resolve and trying to solve a problem, whether it's Augusta or whether it's the Open Championship or whether it's Bay Hill this week. And I think that's why he gets such a good group of lads together who are able to commit their time and knowledge, and golf is about losing most of the time, so winning's very rare, and it takes a lot of effort, and obviously Rosie puts in 105%, so that's why he's been so successful.
What's he like to work for?
He's tough at times, but he's also very fair, and as I said, he puts in 100% effort, and all he expects of his team members to put in the same. So if we all do that, then nothing can be said at the end of the week.
we talking about range sessions that are 80 balls, 100 balls, or like high ball count, or what are we talking about?
We're talking about what he needs at a certain time, and obviously, you know, energy conservation is really important. You know, he's 45, incredibly fit, amazingly fit for his age. But we all have to understand that, you know, Father Time is catching up. So we have to be aware of the boundaries, and I think we're all pretty good at controlling that.
I texted you when you were at Pebble Beach just a couple months ago, and I asked you what does it feel like to be at a place that you guys have won, and you said very grateful. You know, I expound on that, like just in your golfing career here.
Well, you know, when I was a kid, you know, everybody wants to be, you know, when in my time it was Seve Ballesteros or Jack Nicklaus or whoever. And when you get to the stage, even particularly as a caddy, when you know you've not been good enough to play at that level, just to be part of tournaments, you know, like this week and the Masters and the Open, it's incredible. And you know, I am very grateful for the moments that, you know, I've had in golf, and I look back on them very fondly, I'm sure, when I call it a day.
Last thing I was going to say, you mentioned earlier to me that you have a routine. You walk the back nine at Augusta, and for some reason, what does it do? It settles you down, or what exactly does it help with?
Yeah, I'm just a superstitious old twat now, to be honest. But yes, it's something I've done for many years, and it does settle me down. It gets me into the Masters week. I like to do it on my own because I like to have my own thoughts. And I guess you're right. You know, normally done on a Sunday or early Monday, and it's just a comfortable feeling for me to get myself into the Masters and what it feels like, and what to expect if we're close on Sunday.
Always great to see you, Mark.
Thanks, Gareth. Pleasure.
All the best.
Thanks, mate.